Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Data Cloud Now. I'm currently in the south of France at Cannes Lions, where I'm now delighted to be joined by Mike Fisher, VP of Solutions at NBC Universal. Mike, such a pleasure to be in your house this week here at Cannes Lions.
Thank you. We're so happy to host you here up on our gorgeous rooftop in Cannes.
Doesn't get any better than this.
It doesn't.
Mike, looking forward to diving in. NBC Universal operates an incredibly diverse portfolio of iconic media and entertainment brands. From your perspective, what are the most significant data-driven trends impacting the media landscape today, and how is it shaping audience expectations for entertainment and information?
So we start with our product, which is our audiences. We have over 268 million unique users consuming our content across all of our touch points every month. People come to us for those breakthrough moments, for live sports, live events, comedy, drama, news. All of these moments are what our bread and butter is, and we have an amazing team of people who understand how to use that to solve client challenges. More and more of those client challenges gets tied to data and really connecting the gap between the high-level branding and the delivery that comes with TV and understanding the impact that is having on a marketer's goals and the marketer's outcomes. And with the value of that premium content, we're able to bring the value of audiences to that from a targeting perspective. And targeting and measurability and planning all start to fit together. What we look for is tools and solutions to easily bring a client's data into our walls, understand what's happening inside of our universe with that client data, not just who the audiences are, but what they're watching, where and how and why they're watching NBC content everywhere. And then use that to better inform the delivery of it, but also start to connect it back to true marketer outcomes in a way that hasn't been done before for premium television content.
Very well said, Mike. Now I want to dive into the details. How are the teams at NBCU using first-party data and attribution to target the right audiences and drive impact for brands across every layer of the purchase funnel?
Sure. So we have a combination of our own user data sets. We understand what people have watched historically, how people are watching, the types of content that resonate in both a linear traditional TV one-to-many environment, but more and more in a true streaming on-demand environment, which is still shared at a household level, but is a little bit more lean forward. The user goes into our experience inside of Peacock or other NBC endpoints, decides what they're going to watch, and they're deciding that because they are leaned in, they are engaged. This is a much more lean forward, open to ad type of viewing than you've seen in historical TV. And really understanding not just what people are watching, but why and how they're watching it in terms of the type of content they're looking for, the type of user they are, the type of consumer they are, and pairing that with our marketer outcomes using those data sets. And a lot of times those data sets are things that we own. A lot of times they're either an agency or a brand's proprietary data sets. And understanding how to bring those into our system, combine those data sets from a planning perspective, activate them from an activation perspective. How does that plan become reality and get onto the screen?
Right.
And then the biggest thing to solve for is, what does this actually mean for our clients, the brands? What does buying on NBC using these different data sets, first and third party, really do to create better, more meaningful outcomes than we've seen in the past?
Great perspective. And Mike, how do you balance creating a curated consumer experience while also ensuring the safety of consumer data is always being looked after?
Yeah, we're always making sure that we understand how data is being used, making sure that the use cases that we have been vetted, and taking a consumer-minded first approach to it. At the end of the day, our consumers are our viewers.
Right.
We're not trying to monetize them per se. We're trying to entertain them, give them moments to be entertained inside of our content, but also entertained by our brand partners. We obviously want to be driving outcomes, and we believe that entertaining premium content is going to capture those moments in a way, but we're always starting with the consumer in mind.
Great, you're always putting the consumer and customer first. But now I want to look towards the future. And as we look ahead, as measurement abilities continue to evolve, how do you envision it will further transform the industry's advertising experience as a whole?
So we are starting to see more of a premium place on outcomes. That doesn't mean necessarily that clients are going to look at premium content to drive a specific outcome and goal against a specific outcome. But for a marketer, being able to put together upper funnel brand, which is the bread and butter of TV, and combine it with performance, which is the bread and butter of digital, is the opportunity that gets opened up by streaming, as well as our Opta, one platform total audience, which is using the data to find our viewers everywhere they're watching and then connect those back to meaningful moments. And in order to do that, we know we need to take a more open approach to the data ecosystem. We're not trying to build walled gardens. We want clients to bring data into our ecosystem, match it in that viewer-first way, action on it, and then bring data out and understand the value that NBC has inside of that client's data, understand that what that client's data has inside of the NBC walls, but also how is that connecting to more down funnel outcomes? How is that generating better results for our clients? Because we truly believe that if we're contributing to a model that creates better results for our clients, we continue to be a must buy on every plan.
Very much a win-win on both sides. Now I want to dive into partnerships, specifically the Snowflake and NBCU's partnership. It's very much a prime example of industry collaboration. How does the industry collaboration proven to be a growth driver for your business, and how are you seeing partnerships evolve with technology and data advancements?
We're very happy with the way the collaboration across the industry has gone. We don't believe that there needs to be 17 different ways to pull data in, 15 different ways to activate it, and 17 different ways to pull data out. In fact, we've really collapsed our offerings in market to be a little bit more aligned with what agencies and advertisers are looking for, being able to plan, to buy, and to measure. So our sales teams now are going out in market with those three products in mind, not necessarily selling specific solutions, but really understanding not just what a client is looking to, who they're looking to reach, but what they're looking to do with the impression after that client's been reached. So we want to make sure that as our teams are recommending the right planning solution, they're also thinking about if the data comes in or if the data goes out using that solution, can it also be activated on? Can it also be measured in a way that the client wants to measure it? Because we want to make sure that the full funnel ability to capture a viewer, what they're doing, the impact they're having for the marketer, and the value of leveraging best-in-class content with best-in-class data is having on delivering outcomes.
Great to hear, and it's clearly all happening here at Cannes Lions. It's wonderful to be with you on this rooftop. Mike, before we go, what's one message you'd like marketers to walk away with today?
I think that there are a lot of marketers out here who are going to hear about the next big thing. They're going to hear about the value of AI. They're going to hear about what all of these startups that have yachts in the yacht harbor are doing. And they're all doing interesting things, but those are bespoke point solutions. What we want marketers to walk away with is that we have linear, we have streaming, we have extensions. We reach our viewers everywhere they are, and being able to reach the massive amount of viewers that we can bring them using the same underlying data sets, the same underlying content sets, and see all of that measurement in one place is something that we believe resonates very well.
It's an exciting next chapter for NBCU. Such a pleasure being with you, Mike.
It's great to be with you too. Thank you.
And for the audience watching, I'm Ryan Green. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you soon.